Okay, done. So let's get started.
All right, let me just share my screen. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, everyone. So I am talking about making bone broth today. I make bone broth all the time, and I think it is awesome. So going over some of its benefits. It's also known as longevity soup. It's known for being rich in collagen, high in omega-3 fatty acids. As far as TCM nutrition goes, it builds blood, nourishes the kidneys, supports essence, benefits the joints and the bones. Although it does take quite a bit of time, it is very easy to make, and it can be made with any bones that you have left over. So whether that be fish, chicken, beef, really anything. And then something I just wanted to make note of, because I was quite confused about this for a while, is the difference between stock and broth is that stock is made, say, with like a full chicken, whereas bone broth is just the bones. And I was hoping to actually make this for you guys on camera today, but I have so much broth in my fridge and my freezer that it just didn't really make sense to make anymore. But I do have a video that I'm going to pull up to show you guys.
Sorry, Taylor, we couldn't see the video. Maybe videos popped out. Because because you're sharing your PowerPoint. So
I see what you mean.
Yeah, we couldn't see the video.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Yeah, can you share again? Share your video again.
Yes.
And also please select share the computer sound.
Oh, okay, I see. All right, cool. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you.
Okay, can everyone see this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. that is almost exactly how I make broth, except I actually always keep the fat that forms on the top of it. I think that's like part of the best part. So other than that, that's my recipe, and I highly recommend everyone tries it out.
Thank you, thank you. So, may I know, do you put any other ingredient in it, like a salt or any other flavor in it?
I usually do like a Vietnamese style bone broth. So I'll add like anise and coriander and cinnamon. So it just really depends like what kind of flavors you want, but you could add anything. You could, instead of parsley, you could add rosemary and thyme. I always do add a little bit of salt just to give it some extra flavor, but there's, you could vary it however you want to, which is what's nice about it.
Yeah, I really like the bone broth because it's delicious. It tastes very, very good. So I remember my mother always made this for me. So I can sometimes we couldn't finish in one meal, so we put it into the refrigerator so we can eat the second day. So it's still good, all nature and very nourishing. Uh, this one is nourishing the yin. We call the yin. So when we found people who have some indeficiency has empty heat. This one always good for that type.
Yeah, for sure. I usually start my day with it rather than a cup of coffee. I usually start with a cup of broth.
Yes, I remember in China. So one a child is in the teenage, they're growing and getting taller. So the parents always prepare the bone broth for them because we believe in Chinese belief this one can add a lot of calcium in it because that is made by the bone, made of the bone. So a lot of the calcium and a lot of the nutrition can help the young the young the kids and also the children to grow fast. So that is the experience in China.
I was also reading like for like infants and babies and like those who have a harder time digesting meat. Like it's commonly used in China for like babies who can't yet digest meat because you still get all the same benefits, but
Yeah,
just you can
yeah,
drink.
yeah. I really like your you remove the fat, remove the top fat from the bone broth. That is really smart, really smart because a lot of people have concern. Oh, if we made the bone broth, so it's a lot of oil and fat in it. It will have some cardiovascular issue concerns. But if you remove that part, that would be okay. There's no problem with that.
To be honest, I usually do keep most of the fat just
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like it helps my skin so much. But it
Mm-hmm.
is, something to keep in mind, and it should be thought of as far as like how much fat is already in your diet. I eat a relatively low fat diet, so for me it works, but
Mm-hmm.
again, just based on person to person.
Yeah, it's very good. Awesome. Very, very good video. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sarah, with us.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it's great. It's very good opening. So who will do the next one?
I can go next.
I'll go. Okay, just kidding. You go for it, Alexa.
Okay.
I have a video with Tori and I.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see how to share this. Okay, my computer's a little frozen. It won't let me exit full screen. So
No worries. We can see your oh, so
maybe Natalie can go while I figure it out.
okay. Okay, no problem. And Natalie, would you like to go first?
Yeah. Hold on. I lost my moxa stick. Just kidding. Okay. So Hello. I did find a video that I want to show y'all because it's really cool. It's like very informational, and I feel like it's going to provide a lot more information than what I could provide y'all. But I'm just going to give a brief introduction to moxa. Moxibustion, we all know what that is. It's mugwort, dried mugwort. Its herb form is aye. And there are different forms. So there's stick moxa. There's also smokeless stick moxa, but I don't have that. And then here is the actual moxa. And you can do rice moxa, direct moxa, needle moxa. My personal favorite is doing needle moxa on Qi Gong, so making the little balls. This moxa is so old since we haven't been able to use it in the clinic. It's really just like not sticking together. But if you get the good quality kind, you're safe. You can put ginger underneath moxa and put it on the umbilicus to help with digestion. The whole point of moxa is to have a heat therapy. So it can help move qi in blood and help relieve pain. It can warm the middle jaw to help with digestion. It can warm the uterus for a cold uterus for people who are having menstrual issues or fertility. It's also good for elderly patients and people who have kind of a weak constitution. You can direct moxa with sticks instead of using needles to just stimulate the points. And okay, so here's the video. It is a little long, it's like 7 minutes, but like I said, it's pretty cool. I just gotta figure out how to do this. Okay, can y'all see the screen?
Yes, we can see the screen.
Okay, cool.
What is the fundamental energy of body? How can we best use the magic of moxa? How does moxibustion miraculously function to treat diseases? Moxibustion, a green therapy with no side effects. The important part of the medical practices of ancient China. One of the quintessential ancient Chinese medical textbooks advised, if medicines and acupuncture could not cure a disease in a patient, moxibustion must be used. Moxibustion is said to cure many of the problems that cannot be fixed by medicines and acupuncture. The textbook also suggested that moxibustion was the best way to save lives by extending a person's life and can also cleanse the kidneys. This is moxa. Moxa leaves are very common throughout the countryside in China and are used in many different purposes. Besides being used for moxibustion, Chinese people use them to prepare soups, bathe, fumigate their houses, and repel mosquitoes and flies. The lower part of the Chinese character I, literally moxa, means restoring something to its original appearance. In olden days, beautiful young women were also referred to as shao ai, young eye. That's the perfect extension of the medical application of moxa. Moxibustion was a major part of the medical practices of ancient China. It's noted for having no side effects and is known as a green therapy. Moxa heat is produced by the moxibustion materials, which are derived from moxa leaves, also known as dried mugwort. Moxibustion therapy prevents and treats disease by stimulating acupuncture points and special areas of the body, revitalizing the Jing and Qi flows and adjusting any disruptive physiological and biochemical functions. It was only after a long period of experiments and investigations that moxibustion became a regular therapeutic treatment and became widely used. Today, it remains a popular form of treatment. The fire of moxibustion is believed to be the fire of the pure yang. Ancient Chinese people referred to the sun as the sun of heaven, and they describe moxibustion as the sun of the earth. Yang energy is the fundamental energy of life. According to Huangdi Neijing, or the Yellow Emperor's Inner Canon, if we rate the yang energy at 100 points, then a person's life, from birth to death, is a process where the 100 points gradually reduce to zero. That is to say, life is the process where the yang energy is consumed. The heat of the moxibustion process is different from the heat that other materials generate. As the moxa burns, it produces a special type of shortened infrared radiation. This can penetrate 3 to 4 times the depth of normal infrared radiation, and thus can effectively activate the protein complex activin to promote cell growth and to enhance the immune system. Moxibustion can also automatically locate problematic areas of the body and refresh the meridians, or life energy channels. The fire of moxibustion burns and delivers the heat of the pure yang to the inside of the body through the skin. Given that the meridians, acupuncture points, and abdominal organs are all linked, the heat of the yang can successfully reach the malfunctioning parts and remove any obstructions. It can automatically adjust the level of yin and yang to strengthen one's yang, maintaining health and treating diseases. Traditional Chinese medicine research institutes have studied many other medicines, materials, and substances, but they concluded there was no replacement when they compared these with moxa. How does moxibustion miraculously function to treat diseases? Traditional Chinese medicine practitioners say that every person has a meridian network. It's just like an electrical current flowing through connecting wires of an electric generator. The 12 meridians and 365 acupuncture points of the human body are like the post offices and mailboxes for the organs to deliver messages to one another. When they are healthy, these organs are well connected with the acupuncture points on the skin through the meridian network. For a sick person, however, the pores at these acupuncture points become natural channels for pathological excretion. To discharge the negative energy and enable the smooth flow of nutritional energy, Yang Qi, and protective energy, Wei Qi. To diminish it if there's too much yang energy, and to supplement it if there's too little. Moxibustion therapy applies these basic principles of traditional Chinese medicine in a pliant way. The pace of modern life makes it impossible for people to go to work at sunrise and go to bed at sunset, and avoid the harm caused by drugs and hormones. Considering bad lifestyle habits, people are consuming their yang energy at a much faster pace than ever before. Moxibustion helps to provide more yang energy for people and releases their negative energy. This is precisely what more and more people need in their lives. People today can learn from the medical wisdom of our ancestors. By using moxibustion, they will be able to greatly reduce the chances of falling ill. They will be able to live better and longer and enjoy life to the fullest and healthiest. It's a therapy that can help everyone in society.
yeah, that's basically it. Do y'all have any questions?
So many people has a big concern about the smoke the moxibustion produced. So what's your thought about the smoke? Is it good for the body or do harm to the body?
I think it's good because it's a healing type of smoke, like burning sage type of smoke. But I think if you have any sort of lung pathologies or asthma, you should probably avoid it because, I mean, smoke can definitely irritate the lungs. But I think if you don't have any lung issues, I say it's good. But of course, you can always use the smokeless moxa. But I've heard different opinions about that also.
Yes, I agree with that. So if people have some lung issue, asthma, so some allergy for the smoke, yes, absolutely. So people should avoid to inhale to some moxa smokes. But sometimes the smokes produced by the moxa, we call it the 艾叶. 艾叶 is herb or 艾草. That means that this is a plant. This is a special plant we call the 艾叶. Because this leaf is special, it can produce a very energyful, a lot full of energy into the environment. That means it can release energy, and if the human body absorbs energy from this plant, from this herb, so the effect is much better than other plants. So we can burn a lot of different leaves, but this herb is the only one we are using for the moxa. So no one know why, because the Asian people just tell us this one is the best one. It's the best one to do the moxa. So we always use 艾叶 to do the moxa. And sometimes, for example, for the COVID-19 issue, for the pandemic issue, so in China, many people are using the moxibustion, their smoke, to clean the airs. So instead of so people think, oh, smoke will produce some pollution. No, so the smoke of the moxa can clean the airs, can kill some virus and the bacteria. So that is the experience of the Asian people. So I think this maybe makes sense for us, because in some healthcare facilities in China, so when people found some virus or the bacteria issue, so we usually do some moxa and let the smoke go through all of the building, and then do the ventilation to expel all of the smoke. That is the way we can, maybe people can just smell a little bit about the smelling of the smoke after we want to expel all of the smokes. But people can still smell a little bit about that. That one is we call it in Chinese medicine, that one can inspire, can how to say, tonify our spirit, can make our spirit getting nourished. So that is the way we can improve the immune system. Yeah, tonify and improve the immune system. Maybe that is a mechanism to help people to prevent the infectious issue with the moxa, using the moxa. But I also found a lot of the places in China, so they did do the moxa, a lot of too much smoke, make people unhappy, make people uncomfortable. So that's why. So if we go to the website, we can see a lot of the companies they are providing the moxa machine. So when people do the moxa, there's a fan above it, so all of the smoke can be he could go through the vein and go to the outside. So that is a very good machine. So maybe we should have one in our clinic.
Dr. Fan, I just have one thing to add. Something I got at our AOMA store was little moxa like this.
Yes.
But they didn't have a holder for it. And I don't even know where I got this holder, but essentially it's just a nice little tool so you can actually still get the moxa out, and it has a little differentiator there. And you can even like press it together and kind of help tamp out the moxa. But I've never seen these at the store, and I don't know where I got this.
I don't know.
Like
it's a very smart design, like the pen.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I think, was it Alexa? Was it you maybe that said that you picked up these from the store and didn't know how to use them?
Yes, and now I want to know where you got your little.
Yeah, I don't even remember. But it's just very, very simple, elegant design. Works wonders, especially if you're administering the moxa on yourself.
Yes, if anyone has some good idea, so maybe you can design some devices for the moxa and also make people feel, so provides a convenience way to use the moxa, and people will love it. You know, it's like the makeup thing. So for everyone here, so like to make up the lips, make up the face. So we have the makeup moxa devices. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Natalie. Okay, so yeah, so we're done with the moxa. So who want to do the next one?
I think I can figure it out now.
Okay, thank you, Alexa.
Okay, can y'all see the video?
Yes.
Okay, hopefully the sound works, but if it doesn't, just let me know and I can figure it out. Hi, I'm Alexa. And I'm Tori. And we're going to be talking about Qi Gong. Qi Gong translates into energy work. And there are so many forms of Qi Gong, everything from complex movements to simple meditations where you're still and just focusing on your breath. Even just rubbing your eyes in a mindful way or swinging your arms is considered Qi Gong. But what unifies all Qi Gong practices are the 3 regulations. And that is harmonizing your body, your mind, and your breath. So regulating your body involves having proper posture, being aware of your body and any sensations that are happening in your body. Regulating your breath includes being very aware of your breath, not forcing your breath, being very gentle. And then regulating your mind involves clearing distracting thoughts and being fully present in the practice that you're doing.
And Qigong is really great to be practiced daily, really any time of the year, any season, but springtime is especially great for practicing Qigong. Spring is associated with the wood element, which is also closely related to the liver and the gallbladder meridians. So during this time, it's the beginning of the season cycles. We're having lots of new yang energy coming up. It's causing grass to bloom, flowers to come up, trees to bloom, things like that, birds coming out, and we kind of feel that energy rising within ourselves. After a long winter, it's getting nicer out. We want to get outside and get moving. And this is also when our liver energy is at its strongest. But if we happen to have a weak or overburdened liver, it might not be functioning properly, and this can lead to a stagnation of qi. This can cause things like stuffiness in the rib cage, insomnia, headaches, joint pain, digestive imbalances, and even emotional things like stress, irritability, and even anger. So practicing Qigong is a really great way to support the liver and just to regulate the flow of our body's Qi. So we would like to invite you all to do a little Qigong practice with us. We're going to take you through a little routine that's great for the springtime. So go ahead and stand with your feet about shoulder width apart. We're just going to do a quick opening movement called the Zhangtian movement here. So you're going to take your hands together at about face level. You're going to take a deep breath in And then on the exhale, you're gonna blow through the hands to part them. You're gonna bring the left hand up and the right hand down to about waist level. And then you're gonna slowly bring that left hand down. And while you're bringing it down from the heavens, you're gonna picture it cleansing your body, just quieting the mind, slowing the breath down. And then you're gonna bring it to meet the right hand and just spend a little moment here. Getting grounded and centered. And we'll begin the 3 clearing movements. Scooping up all this universal chi from the earth, the heavens, bringing it back down to your head, pouring it through your body, and releasing anything you don't want to have in your body back to the earth to neutralize. Doing that 2 more times. Really just grounding through the feet. Visualize some clean air and clean chi going through your lungs. We're going to start on our movement. We're going to go ahead and take the right foot out to the side a little bit. So keep most of your weight on your left foot. And we're going to keep a slight bend in the knees. And you're going to take the hands up to about chest height with the palms facing down. And then we're just going to sink down in the knees and the hands. If it helps, you can picture pushing down on a beach ball that's floating in the water. So you're going to press down with a little more firmness and then just float the hands up. This movement is the 7th movement in the Return to Spring Qi Gong practice. It's really great for soothing the liver. If you're angry, upset. Just taking nice deep breaths. You can even sync breaths with the movement if that works for you. We're going to do a couple more here. Okay. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So go ahead and kick the left foot out a little bit, keeping the weight on the right leg. And again, bringing the arms up and just sinking down. Breathing deep, feeling your chest expand. Now we're going to return back to center, feet about shoulder width apart. And we're just going to repeat 3 of those opening movements again, just to close out. Just breathing in gratitude, good, vibrant energy, leaving anything negative behind. Awesome. So if you're not able to do any kind of movement depending on where you are, there's a wonderful Zongfu organ meditation for the liver that's really nourishing. And I invite you to close your eyes. You just gently place your hands in your lap or wherever is comfortable. And on your next inhale, I want you to visualize breathing in a beautiful, vibrant green light that's traveling down to your throat, to your chest, and then to below your rib cage. So our liver is on our right side
and our energetic liver in Chinese medicine is on our left side. So go ahead and visualize that green light surrounding the whole area below your rib cage. And with each inhale, you're breathing in more of this beautiful green light that's nourishing all the cells in your liver. You can just visualize this area of your body relaxing, being nourished with each inhale. You can hold this meditation for a few minutes, just visualizing breathing in that green, nourishing light, rejuvenating the liver, relaxing this area of your body. And that's the nourishing liver meditation. So thank you so much for practicing Qi Gong with us. We hope you enjoyed these meditations and movement, and are encouraged to practice Qi Gong this spring.
Yeah, and to reach out to either of us if you need any more recommendations or if you have questions or anything like that. Both of us have taken medical Qi Gong through AOMA and have incorporated it into our lives as well. Yeah, we really love Qi Gong and think it's a beautiful daily practice.
This is our goofy add-on.
This is the
Qi Gong can include laughing, because laughing is so good for moving Qi. And if you feel like you need a laugh, and you just don't think anything's funny, you can just start by going, ha 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 ha. And there you go.
You'll be laughing at your own self.
So that's our laughing Qi Gong. So wait, scratch that. So that was it.
Yes, I like this. Yes, so the Qigong, we have some movement Qigong. We call the body movement. So we can do Qi arising, and then Qi descending, right? So we bring the outside Qi into our body. This is we help the Qi go from outside to inside and go from top to bottom. We call it descending. So ascending and descending, ascending and descending. So this is the movement Qigong. And some Qigong, I think the meditation is also kind of the Qigong, because meditation is we are pretending to do some body movement inside our body, although our body doesn't move, but a lot of things inside. So we try to consolidate our spirit, consolidate our shen, and then we can feel something happen inside. We call it the Qi movement inside. That is the meditation. Yeah, so Qigong is a very, very big component in the Chinese medicine. So I am teaching the Qigong, the I Ching Qigong. I think many people in this group, maybe you took my class before. So I'm teaching the I Ching. So there are hundreds of the different type of the Qigong. Some is the connect with the Chinese medicine. Some connect with the martial arts. So the martial arts, their Qigong, we call it heart Qigong. Why heart? Because when people practice that type of Qigong, they can build their muscle, build their body constitution. That means that it's not easy to get fitted from other people. So in the past, some soldiers and also some generals, so they practice the Qigong. So they are very good to fight. So that is another type of the Qigong. Yeah, so we have the Qigong with the movement, Qigong without movement. Without movement, just sitting or standing there and keep some position. So, but although our body doesn't move, but that Qi move inside. That is the Qi circulation, or we call Qi transformation. So we have the Qi four direction or four movements of the Qi. So ascending, descending, and exiting and entering. So this is the Qi movement. Qigong is the way try to rebuild and restore our Qi movement inside. So connect the interior, exterior, and connect the top and the bottom. So that is the main balance for people's health. Yeah. So okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Alexa. A very good demo for the Qi Gong. I think everyone can benefit from that. Any questions for this demo? Okay, no. So if there's no questions, so we go to the next one. So who would be the next?
I can go next.
Okay, Jonathan.
Cool. Okay. So I have a video. Yoga and how it can be used as an excellent. Wait, you can't hear it. Form of mind-body exercise that.
Yes, we can hear. We can hear, but the volume a little bit low. So if you turn up the volume, that would be great.
Okay.
When you share the screen, make sure you're sharing your computer voice.
Health and to even treat certain musculoskeletal and psycho-emotional concerns. It's can you hear it? It's maybe I'll try with let me try with my computer because I'm on my iPad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you're sharing your screen, there is an option. So when you're sharing, it asks you, do you share your computer voice? So if you click the shared computer voice, that means the share computer sound. Yeah, share computer sound. You need to select that box. Then we can hear you.
Okay, so
at the bottom of the window. So when you click the share screen, so there's a bottom at the window at the bottom that is the share computer sound. So if you select that box, so you can share your computer sound with us.
Okay. And I'm going to talk to you today about yoga and how it can be used
that
as
sounds great.
An excellent form of mind-body exercise that many already use to maintain health and to even treat certain musculoskeletal and psycho-emotional concerns. It's important to keep in mind that when done correctly, yoga can be used like Qi Gong to stimulate the smooth flow of qi throughout the entire body, and consequently also of blood, allowing the body to regenerate itself, to heal and recover. It's important to recognize that the goal of the yoga asanas, the yoga postures, is to simply train the body to maintain a smooth breathing pattern, regardless of what's happening with the limbs, the body. As long as we have a smooth and steady pattern of breathing, and we're not overexerting or exhausting the body, that's totally fine. If, however, the breath does become limited, then modification is always there for anyone. Anyone can do yoga. Anyone can do it. Really, it's just a matter of finding the right modification and not overexerting oneself and forcing something that's not there. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 sets of postures that are pretty basic in yoga. Yoga has so many different variations, but these 3 sets encompass the general movements that we already that we can do with our body, and so they can be prescribed to anyone either beginning a yoga practice or continuing developing their practice. The first 2 sets of postures of yoga asanas that I'm going to show you are called Surya Namaskar A and B, or sun salutations A and B. The purpose of these 2 sets is to awaken the body, to warm up the body, and prep it before doing any other type of physical exercise. And then the 3rd exercise is a Chandra Namaskara, or the moon salutation, that would be useful during the evening time when we're trying to just relax the body and get ready to go to bed. Surya Namaskara, sun salutation. Before I begin, I like to stretch my arms back and forward, really flex them and extend them to awaken them, engage them like a flamenco dancer. As I bring my arms up, I pay attention to my lung meridians around the pronator teres. I stretch my abdominal area and reach down to the floor, engaging my thighs, spleen and stomach, liver. Firmly grabbing the floor, the heart and Sanjiao channels, extending stomach, and holding downward facing dog, focusing on engaging my legs to extend them. So really working on the spleen meridian, stomach, stretching them out from the backside, the bladder, engaging them in the inside of the kidney, the vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, sartorius muscles, engaging the abdomen, all the channels that pass through their stomach. After 5 breaths, hold onto the floor firmly, really engaging the arms, the heart, pericardium channel, large intestine, getting a stretch on the back muscles, the bladder channel, raising up, again focusing on large intestine, lung channels. And this is 1 you do in a set 5. Surya Namaskara, sun salutation. B. The focus here again when extending the arms will be along the lung and large intestine channels. Again, we focus on firmly placing the hands on the floor, particularly where the lung, heart, and pericardium end in large intestine, Sanjiao, small intestine begin. Spinal extension with the bladder meridian. Engagement of the spleen and stomach meridians in the anterior side. In sun salutation B, we then pivot the foot, really feel the gallbladder channel, the IT band, fibularis longus, muscles stretch. Still also feeling tibialis anterior, vastus medialis, sartorius. Stomach extension. And the other side, again, we start by pivoting the foot, feeling the stretch along particularly the gallbladder channel. IT band, fibularis longus. With the hands, the lung and large intestine channels. In downward facing dog, the focus here again can be along the bladder channel, stretching out the hamstrings, ensuring that the heel is on the ground. If not, the knees can always be bent, but when we're stretching them, we also can support them by engaging the anterior muscles along the leg, anterior tibialis, the vastus medialis, vastus lateralis, sartorius, gracilis muscles along the liver, spleen, kidney. Also maybe the top of the head touches the floor. And as we come out after 5 breaths, focusing really on the rotator cuff muscles, deltoids, which a lot of the arm channels pass through. All in all, sun salutations A and B are both done 5 times, although really anyone can do them as many times as they want, depending on what they're trying to address. Chandra Namaskara, moon salutation. So the moon salutations are done to wind down. They do touch on a lot of the same muscles that the sun salutations do. A lot of the Chinese channels will also be tapped into. So here in the stretch, we can focus on gallbladder meridian, stretching the lateral sides of our body. extending the arms, there can be a focus again on lung, large intestine, channel distribution, as we bring our arms into a bit of a flex mode, focus mostly on opening around the pericardium channel, the heart channel distribution. Preparing in Trikonasana, we grab onto the big toe. We can be going for the spleen, liver channel, especially in the muscle engagement in the thighs and legs. The arms too, lung, large intestine, small intestine. To have a good balance, being able to firmly plant the entire sole of the foot, the kidney, is really useful. In all yoga postures, we have a combination of extension and flexion. So here we are flexing the back muscles, stretching the anterior part of the body. And we need this for support to make sure we're not overstretching or overutilizing, exerting on one muscle group in particular. In this posture, Malasana, we are representing a full moon. All the postures that we just did represent the waxing phases of the moon. We reached the full moon, and now we're going to redo everything to represent the waning phases of the moon. As we have seen with all the yoga postures, there's always a balance between muscles that we flex and muscles that we extend for support. Here, the muscles that are being stretched are being supported by the muscles that are on the opposite side, and they are being engaged. Here we could also again grab onto the big toe, tonify the spleen. Anyone can do yoga, but there must be a consideration always in each person's own physical capabilities and limitations. The whole point is not to overexert or exhaust the body. One should feel energized and more at peace after a yoga practice. And the human body is the human body, so we could be applying TCM concepts into it, and just considering each patient as they come in. Thank you for watching my video. Hello.
Wow, so cool. So cool. It's an amazing video. So Jonathan, I didn't know know you. You can practice the yoga so good, so advanced level. Are you a yoga coach?
Sometimes I try to, but yeah, no, I loved just like this learning of like TCM and Chinese Meridian, because in my practice I've felt so many things that make sense, like channel distribution. I like in certain postures, I'm like, oh my God, like this is totally like I can totally see how like my spleen or like the liver channel goes along through this, whether it's because of like fascial distribution or but yeah, it's really interesting to see these see this through the TCM lens.
Yes, you have very good physical body flexibility. So your body is very flexible, a lot of very good flexibility. So I'm teaching the I Ching Jing. So the I Ching Jing and yoga, I think you have the same origin. So they all come from ancient India. So and then when this body exercises, body movement exercises went to China, so we call that them a little bit different name, but the I Ching Jing is similar because I Ching Jing really came from India, ancient India. So when we are practicing the I Ching Jing, we say there are three main benefits from the practicing this movement, body exercises. First one is we can improve the qi circulation. That means that when we practicing this Qi Gong or yoga or any you name it, so we can move the qi inside. We can help move qi inside because all the disease is due to the qi and blood circulation. Yeah, qi blood circulation and block the meridian, so that is the reason for all type of issues. So if we can move the qi, move the blood, that is the way we can help people stay in the healthy. And the second one is the flexibility. So when people getting aging, so getting old, so the joint issue, muscle issue, fascia issue, a lot of pain issue, that is because of the body lose the flexibility. If we can practice every day to keep the flexibility, the tendons, we call sinews in Chinese medicine, and we can connect the meridian with the meridian. That means the meridian is not broken. so the meridian system can become the utility, can become the unit as one. So that is the second benefit. And the third one is the muscle strength. I saw you are practicing. So some forms are very difficult. So people need a very good muscle strength can keep that form. So I couldn't do so. So I don't think my muscle power is good enough to practice like you did. But I think the yoga also can improve people's muscle strength. So muscle strength doesn't mean the big muscle. Some people do the gym, so they have very big muscles, biceps, triceps. That is not healthy. That's not healthy. Big muscle doesn't mean healthy. Big muscle just means looks cool, but it's not really healthy. The healthy means the muscle, they're not exactly big, but they're balancing. That means the biceps and the triceps, they're balancing muscles. If we do the exercise for the biceps only, so the arm lose the balance. So people will find a lot of the issue when we do the exercises for the biceps only, right? So we need to make our whole body muscle system keep the balance. That is the very important thing. Yeah. So we don't want people have very big muscle power in some muscle, but other muscle are weak. We don't like this. We like all the muscle harmonized with each other. So that is the philosophy in the Chinese medicine. Yeah, thank you so much, Jonathan. So you give us a lot of a lot of the input and very amazing demo. Thank you so much.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, maybe you'll be a very good Qi Gong or yoga coach.
Yeah, I was teaching at AOMA at the community classes, but everything got turned down because of COVID. But yeah.
Yeah, so I and also I really want to work with you on the body work. It's not the body work for other people, but body work for ourselves. We're practicing some body work, some body exercises, not body exercises. So we can have integrate the biomedicine philosophy with the Chinese medicine philosophy. We can translate something language into the modern language. Translate the Asian language into the modern language. That is really can help people. Help people can understand and also can benefit from the Asian practices.
Yeah, that would be great. That's definitely a goal of mine.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's take a break, right? So it's 3:12. So let's continue at 3:30. Let's take a break. Go on with the next one. Who want to go to the next one?
Aaron and I can go.
Aaron, okay, great. So you are a group, you are a team, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, please go ahead.
I'm not sure what happened. Let me try that again.
Okay, no problem. Don't worry.
Okay. Now can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So eSTEM acupuncture by me and Aaron. About eSTEM, electro-acupuncture stimulates the acupuncture points and helps restart the flow of qi. 2 or more needles are placed around the point while a machine sends an electrical impulse to them. Electrical acupuncture helps to increase the healing effects of standard acupuncture. And to perform eSTEM, we attach little electrode clips to specific needles during a regular acupuncture session, and that's like an example of an eSTEM machine. Conditions that eSTEM can treat: chronic pain, acute pain, back pain, PCOS, tendinitis, surgery recovery, arthritis, chemo-related nausea, and more. That's an example of using like L4 and eSTEM. Potential side effects: mild nausea, dizziness, feeling fainting, pain or light bleeding when needles inserted, redness or bruising at needle site. Contraindications: eSTEM should not be used if you are /have, if you are pregnant, if you have heart disease, if you had a stroke before, if you have a pacemaker, if you have epilepsy or seizures. You don't want to cross the current or cross the spine, and no usage over the chest. And don't use high frequency in patients with hypertension because it could make their flare up hypertension. Just some general questions. What's the difference between a milliampere and a micro? A milli is a prefix for 1 out of 1,000 or 0.01. So a micro is 1 million of an ampere. So 1 micro is a very small amount of electricity, only 1/1000th the amount of milli. So milli is larger than micro. Which one should I use, milli or micro? Hasn't been much research done, but according to this website, FAQ of electrical acupuncture, acupuncturists usually like to use the micro setting for chronic and acute pain and to tonify points. So anecdotally, most acupuncturists prefer to use the micro setting over the milli. How many needles need to be connected for eStim to work? eStim needs at least 2 needles to work. 1 needle is connected to the black lead and 1 to the red lead, and both leads must be connected at the same time for the electrical current to pass. And does it matter where the black and red lead is placed? Again, no research, but anecdotally, yes, there is a difference. Most practitioners prefer to place the red lead proximal or closer to the torso, and the black lead distal, farther from the torso. And then Aaron, do you want to explain this one?
Yeah, so basically with the eStim, these are just some frequency specific ways to treat. So if you put the eStim anywhere from 1 to 4 hertz, it acts as an anti-inflammatory. So that's kind of that's the tempo at which the beat is hitting, or the electrical pulse is hitting. And then it goes all the way up to 400 hertz, which is dopamine. So this could be good to help for Parkinson's patients. And then so there's musculoskeletal, phlegm, GABA, neuroinhibition, norepinephrine or adrenaline, and acetylcholine. And there's more. These are just a few examples.
Okay, so this is Aaron's video, like going through his eStim machine and like talking about it.
So this is the Pantheon electro-acupunctoscope, and this has 4 channels. It's a quarter millimeter, third millimeter jack. So you want to use one of these, and a black and red, positive and negative charged cable. You want to have this on needle, and the power is on the right. So this means it is off, and then the dot in the middle means on. So you have your intensity for each channel, each of the 4 channels, and then your polarity. And if you can adjust the polarity to where it sends more to either the positive end or the negative end. And what you want to do is make sure that all of these are off before you turn it on. So we'll turn it on. And since we're in the first channel, we can turn this knob until it clicks, and that'll say it's on. But before we do that, I want to talk a little bit about the frequency. So the frequency is going to be how many beats are hitting. So the lower the frequency, the different things it'll do versus higher frequency. For example, on the chart, it says lower frequency musculoskeletal pain versus higher frequency 400 hertz is more for dopamine. And you can adjust it with this knob. The cool thing about this eStim, you can actually adjust the amount of hertz by 1 times or 10 times. So since we're in the 10 times, it's up to 336 right now. But if we go to the 1 times, it'll take it all the way back down to 33. And that's a quick tutorial. And turn it off. So what you want to do with these is put them on the needles more towards the skin. You don't want it to be on the handle, but more towards the skin. And what's helpful is to take sports tape and actually tape across each of these so that they stay in place. Because a lot of times, if you don't, the electrical stimulation and the pulsing can pull the needles out of the skin.
Okay. Oh. Okay. So this is a video on electro-acupuncture on Clever's YouTube page, and they actually got like millions of views on this. So I'm just going to start the video hopefully when they walk into the acupuncture clinic and they experience electro-acupuncture for the first time.
A little nervous.
Like, hi, Naz. I'm a little nervous.
Am I being electrocuted?
Yeah, well, she was saying that you might be a little bit nervous about this. So I thought we would get the bigger, deeper needles and just really, no, I'm kidding.
Pretty subtle.
Yeah, we'll do a nice, gentle, stress relieving treatment for you. You'll be fine. The needles are so small. I'll bet I can put 2 needles in you without you even noticing.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah? Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Head here, please.
On the deathbed?
Face up. Face up.
Laying down on my deathbed. Needles for some reason don't scare me. I don't think I'll be scared when it's in, it's the visual.
So the question for you also is like, what do you got going on? Can we talk just really quickly about your medical stuff? Have any digestive issues? Do you have any sleep issues? Do you have any, you're nodding everything.
Nodding
yes, everything.
Yes.
Hold on, let me get the list.
D, all of the above. So I have a lot of trouble pooping. Everyone watching Naz is single. She's available.
Let's move down here a little bit. And
wait, you're going towards my feet?
Well, I wasn't going to actually do the feet. I was thinking that I might actually do one that's a little bit closer to like the leg.
There's one in. I feel like you need a face mask if you're going to be near my feet. They don't smell.
That's funny. So now the question would be.
I feel it a little when you put it in, but it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Number 36.
I lost my bet though. I lost my bet, but I feel like you were probably responsible for that. I had a bet going with you that I could put 2 in without you noticing, but did you notice the first one?
Yeah, because Lily said you have one in.
Lily!
No, she made a noise when you put it in. Wait, I kind of feel them in my leg.
So you might start to feel a little bit of an energetic flow with some of these.
So putting needles in my leg is helping my stomach?
Yeah, so the energetic pathways in the body are called meridians in Chinese medicine. You've probably heard of these, right? And they've been mapped out. So there's a stomach channel that flows all the way up through here. There's a kidney, spleen channels, liver flow through this direction, end up in here and here and here. So let's do one here again on this LI11 point.
Let's get a nice
this is a really good heat clearing point here. I'm just gonna kind of, can you feel it?
Yep. What does LI11 mean? Like, are they
all
large
numbers? Yeah, that's large intestine channel.
Got it.
Right, so for you, that's a good point, right? We're to clear heat from the large intestine. This point here is large intestine 4, right in the hand. This is the point that a lot of people talk about as being great for headaches because it's the command point of the head and face.
Right.
Let's do like the hormonal balancing points down here. Little spleen 6 action. How much stress do you feel like you're under?
A lot. I mean, I'm getting needles put in my body with like 3 cameras.
And what about in life in general with your work schedule and shooting and all that? Do you feel you're a bit stressed?
I'm living my best life.
Okay,
makes one of us. I'm definitely, yeah, I would definitely say I'm more on the very stressed side of the spectrum.
Okay.
But so is Lily. Yeah, he knows.
Just gonna pull this out so that as we do your ear, maybe we can check out what's happening. You can treat the entire body just using ear points. And so some people will use ear points and put the E stem on them so that it just stimulates them constantly for a half hour. Many acupuncturists, myself included, will put either magnets or little ear tacks into the ear for people to take with them, especially for things like addiction, certain pain issues.
Can I get a needle for my Taco Bell cravings?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Where's the Taco Bell point?
Probably save me a lot of money. Like the entire thing.
Let's do a couple more points in the abdomen for the constipation, and then we'll hook up some E-stem to those.
So I'm looking over this as if I'm like helping. I'm like, yes, what are we doing next? Lily, help
and
me.
Can we
the high-waisted, oh, this is my assistant.
My assistant is going to help with the shorts.
Like, never thought this would be happening. This is the closest Lily and I have ever been. Wait, what underwear did I put on today? This is so scary.
Okay, perfect.
She's really prepped.
Okay, let me go grab the E-stem. So it's got a couple of dials. Well, a lot of dials, doesn't it? But only a couple of them matter for you. We're going to mix so we can alternate which vibration we do. One's going to be fast, one's going to be slow. Doesn't need to be super strong.
A vibration.
Yeah.
It's like a little like a sex toy. Yes. What's happening right now, Lily? Oh, it's the cutest little tiny car jumpers, but like this big. That doesn't scare me at all. So small. Thanks, Lily.
So let's turn it on slowly. The first two you're going to start to feel are going to be this one and this one, right? So just let me know when you start to feel it. We're slowly turning it up.
Okay, I feel it.
Yeah, so that's slow.
This is so cool.
That's fast. You feel both those frequencies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so crazy. It's vibrating.
So with E-stem, what's happening is we've attached electronics to the needles and they're creating an electrical stimulation.
So can you do this on everyone, or like in what cases do you use this specific
Well,
treatment
that's a good
for?
question. Women who are pregnant, you don't want to use it. For people with heart conditions or epilepsy, probably not the best. But for people with pain, chronic pain, PCOS, just things you really want to stimulate more.
So can you guys get out? I can take a nap.
He's already asleep.
Yeah, and she's out.
Put this here.
A few.
Okay. And that's basically
A little nervous.
my
Oh, hi, Naz.
Okay. And that's basically it. Do you guys have any questions?
Any question? So no question. Maybe because we are very familiar with the Eastern, all people here. Yeah. So we practicing Eastern in the clinic. So Eastern is the magic devices to kill the pain. What we found, any people who has musculoskeletal pain issue, so always use Eastern. That is my experience. Because for the joint issue, for the osteoarthritis, for the lower back pain, for the neck pain, shoulder pain, Eastern always works. So I tried many times, compare the needling with Eastern or without Eastern. I always can find the Eastern always good. But the one precaution is, so the Eastern, if we treat some pain, we should people feel some comfortable. That means if we turn on the Eastern machine, people feel some vibration, people some stimulation of the electricity, they should feel comfortable. If people feel worse, if people feel the pain worse with Eastern, we should stop using that, because if people feel pain getting worse with Eastern, usually, so the Eastern will make the pain worse. So after treatment, people will feel the pain doesn't relieve. So this is only one principle for using the Eastern. That means that if we using the Eastern, we need to adjust the frequency, adjust the intense, and also adjust the how long we apply the Eastern on the point and which point we select. So, but the one principle, that is that the patient should feel comfortable, people feel good. So that is the one principle. Okay. So great.
I was wondering, have you applied it on any ear points like auricular acupuncture?
No, because ear area is very sensitive. So I never use Eastern on that area. But maybe you can try, because I never tried that one, because I assume people feel very sensitive in the ear area. But if you apply the very micro, slightly Eastern, I don't know, maybe people feel comfortable, because we're using some needling in the air area, the ear areas is that skin can stimulate we call the parasympathetic system, can activate the parasympathetic system. If we can apply some electricity stimulation on that area, maybe it works. Maybe it works.
And I'm wondering, like, so because they say never to cross the spine, like not put, I guess, like the black lead on one side and then the red lead on the other side of the body. Is this mostly as like to prevent potentially something to happen, or has it messed up someone like before doing the crossover or crossing the spine?
Very good question. So Any answer from the Catherine or Aaron?
There's this guy, I can't think of his name right now, but he does the neuropuncture seminars, and he says that it's completely fine to go across the midline. This is Michael Corradino. I've got his book, but I haven't really looked into a whole lot myself. That's just what he said in his seminars. And he studies neurology. I don't know, so maybe he knows something, but I really don't know. I've been curious myself if there's been like some people who've like gotten hurt, or I don't know.
Anyone know the answer? My experience is why we say do not cross the spine, because we don't want people apply the one click on the left side, apply another one on the other side. That is why. So when I saw the PowerPoint, so the picture is apply one on the left LI4 and click another one on the right LI4. That is not make sense for me because it's cross body, cross the spine, right? Not only cross spine but also cross chest. So there are two principles. One is that do not apply the istem on the heart area, because our heart activity, so heart pumping, so the activity is using the electricity inside. So if we using the istem, it will change the electricity transition. That is not good. Another one is why do not cross the spine? Because if we cross spine, it's very likely we cross the heart. So because spine is the midline. If we cross the spine, it usually it will cross the heart. But for the spine, for the bladder point, my experience, I put 2 clicks, one top and bottom. I never put the left and the right. Because I think that is a little bit not good for the spine, because spine is spinal cord. It also has a nerve crossing it. So if we put one on left, one on right, so the electricity will cross the spine. It will change some the physical activity of the spine. So that is not suggested. So my answer is yes, we do not apply the electricity across the spine. Usually we put one top, one bottom. So that is my way to use the istem.
Okay. What about stomach 36 to stomach 36? Because technically you're not crossing the spine, so it's like below the waist.
It's also cross the spine because it's cross the sacrum. Yeah, so I never use the left and the right same point at the same time. I never use that.
But stomach 36 is below the knee. It's not anywhere near the spine.
Yeah, below the knee. But if we apply the left and the right stomach 36, so electricity, the current will go across the spine. They will collect the left and the right together. It is below the heart, but it's also across the spine.
Like the dermatome or like the myotome, I guess, technically, because it would go back to the spine. So it'd be technically crossing, yeah.
Because the transition of the neural signals also the electricity signal.
Wait, so what could happen then?
So it's not a big issue if we apply it in the lower extremity. It's not a big issue, but it is not recommended. And also from the, if we are not acupuncturists, if we are chiropractor or physical therapist, maybe it doesn't matter. But as acupuncturists, the same side treatment and opposite side treatment, they are so different. When we do the needling on one side, or we do the needling on the other side, the effective is different in the Chinese medicine philosophy. Anyone know this? Usually, usually we do the, for example, it depends on the right side. Should we treat the right side or should we treat the opposite side?
Opposite side.
It depends on the treatment you are using. It depends on the treatment you're using on this issue. If we do the slightly treatment, that means the for the pain, did you remember that? So when I talk about the pain gate control theory of the pain. So if we apply the shallow needling and also the gentle treatment on the same side, that is good for the pain. But if we apply some like the heavy stimulation or deep stimulation, which to treat the opposite side, that is the way we can close the pain gate on the opposite side. So that is a lot of the magic in the Chinese acupuncture needling techniques. A lot of the techniques. So different master will show you different way, but depends on their strength of the stimulation. If the strength is big, usually we will do the opposite side. If the stimulation is small, usually we'll do the same side. That is my experience. There's no absolutely we should treat the same side or treat the other side. It depends on the treatment you are using, you're applying. Okay, so yes, thank you for the introduction for the Eastern. So we'll go to the next. So who will be the next?
I can go next.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. What's your topic? Uh-oh. Ben is gonna go the next, but he popped out. Oh, okay. Come again. You're muted. Ben, are you gonna be the next one?
Yeah, I can go next. I just have to change my audio setting real quick, Dr. Fan. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. No problem. So what's the topic? Let me see. Oh, you like to do the mind-body exercises too.
Sorry. Yes, my topic was mind-body. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, just checking. And so I'm doing Indian clubs. As the name suggests, they originated in India. They made their way to Europe or the European countries, if you will, via the British occupation of India, and then later to the United States, and then kind of lost popularity to probably, I guess, more modern exercise methods, and then started to make a resurgence back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, thanks to a guy by the name of Dr. Ed Thomas, and the fact that people like CrossFit and kettlebells were taking weight over their heads, so they were starting to get shoulder pain. So these can be a really great tool for shoulder pain. They can also, they also have some neurological benefits and things that are pretty awesome. And I'll get into that in just a minute. I guess I'm not gonna be able to do that. Okay. So these are like, throwing gloves around the house. These are like half a pound. They're not very heavy. They're made out of plastic. Traditionally, they were made out of wood. You can actually get a really cheap pair that's just the handle. And then it has like a ring down here that will screw into any type of water bottle. So you can change the weight if you care about that. and it's pretty affordable for patients. But they're great for shoulder rehab. PTs, physios, chiros, all those guys are using them. They're pretty awesome for that. They do have a history in Indian martial arts originally. And that's kind of why I like them. They're a nice intersection between martial arts, Qi Gong, and then like functional movement or functional fitness, if you will. So these are light, these are half a pound. You can get up to about 3 pounds before it really starts to change the movement a lot. After that, you're kind of looking at maces and mills, and that's a different game. So to kind of explain what you do with these, you can get nice big shoulder circles, you can go the other direction. You can get elbow circles, so where you're just circling at the elbow. You can do wrist movements inside, outside. You can stand over here and do this. I can add that in with a movement here, right? I can start to layer. And what's cool is you've got all the benefits, right, for the shoulders, for health and for musculoskeletal stuff. You can add in the legs, you know, you can do stance work, dropping back and forth, you can do lunges, squats, all that good stuff. If your patients are into that, or you can just sit in a chair, or you can just stand. Very, very user-friendly for just about anybody. You can get some kind of benefit out of these guys. But the other level is cognitive loading, right? Or cognitive stacking. So I can do something really simple, like I can do a movement like just a circle here. And then I can just be like, well, the left hand's going to do something different than the right. And that's one way to do it. And you can already see, especially when I'm talking, how that pattern starts to get a crap, right? And then I have to clean it up. I have to find it again. So you can do something like that. You can do something like, here's a pattern I want to add in now, wrist circles. Then I want to go to another pattern. Maybe I do opposite wrist circles, and then try to refine that original pattern. There's a lot you can do in that regard. They have like what they call pin juggling, which is where you basically try to make it pretty. I can do something just really basic again, like, you know, basic Qi Gong move that we see all the time. Hopefully my earbuds are working so you can hear me. And then you can add in, you know, wrist rolls. You can add in something else. You can start to change directions. You can also do a lot of neurological stuff, meaning I can add in something like fixed gaze, right? So where I'm just looking at the camera right now, my arms are moving in space, whatever's happening, or I can do something where my eyes try to track the club without moving my head, which for me starts to become a little more challenging. Or I can do it with the eyes and the head, follow the club, right? Or I can do something like saccades, where I'm bringing them up. And so I've got one closer, one farther away, one closer, one farther away. And I just keep switching my vision from club to club. And I'm getting a little bit of a neurological boost. It's kind of like Tetris, but with your body at high speed. So one of the things that's fun to do with these is you just find a cool pattern, you know, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. And then you try to figure out how to do it, right? And they're all basically just 3 circles. So shoulder, elbow, or wrist. So pretty basic. And then in 9 planes, so like in front of the body or behind the body, side of the body, inside the body. Head level, rib level, hip level, right? So you're just changing levels and planes. And then you can start to play with different grips. You can work the clubs through the fingers, which is a nice little brain burn. There's a lot of options in that. But for me, it's a nice way to get in a little bit of exercise, a little bit of Qi Gong, if you will. You're still working on your breath. You're definitely working on the mental component, the physical component. But Qi Gong, sometimes I feel like for an American audience, and definitely for me, every now and then is a little bit boring, right? Not always. It depends on the style. It depends on what you're doing. But this, there's no way. I mean, you can kind of power. Like I can kind of power through this. Like I can kind of go really slow and control. The moment I start moving at a speed, right, my brain has to start working and I have to start adjusting on the fly. The other aspect to that is the moment I start moving, because these have a little bit of weight at the end, it almost forces you into relaxation. So your range of motion improves. Like if you do screens with people, like functional movement screens, or just something simple like bend down, touch your toes, right? A lot of times, just after them playing around for a few minutes with these guys or learning patterns, you'll notice that something like toe touch will weirdly improve, even though you've done nothing to work on the toes. So it's kind of a neat thing like that. Another thing that I like to test a lot with these, and even with myself, is Romberg's and single Romberg's. I think that's the right one, the balance test, right? Because it's both a physical assessment and an athletic assessment to some degree. But you'll notice it might be worse on one side Or for some people, it might be, like just single rumbers, like standing 2 legs together with your eyes closed, might be rather difficult for a patient. But then they play with these for a few minutes. You give them a pattern to do. Maybe you assign a certain type of gaze pattern, right? Maybe you make them do fixed or saccades or something like that, just depending on what they need or what you think they need. You're kind of guessing. And then you test it again and it gets better. So the cognitive benefit to these is really, really cool. I've talked to a few people that do these who have a history of concussions, and they find that when they're doing this, and this is anecdotal, right? It's not well documented or studied enough to really say anything concrete, but they found that, that their words get slurred a lot less. They're able to carry on conversations better. Like there's all these little things, right, that improve with playing with these on like a regular basis. And again, super simple solution. If you get, they're called Pavlov handles from Heroic Sports, just a piece of plastic that screws into a water bottle. It's even softer than this guy. Like this guy's not hard. I've hit myself in the head once, maybe twice with this, and it's not too bad. But a water bottle is even less. So it's a little bit, in my opinion, a little bit safer. There we go. I knew that happens sooner or later. Especially for like say the older population. But like again, it's fun. You can do it, especially right now when we can't work like with people. This is a great way to get cognitive physical training. And there's a lot of ipsilateral movement, right? Because every time I cross my midline, like I'm constantly with these guys, no matter which direction I'm going, crossing that midline of the body. And so it's a really great way to do that. You can also put together classes, just like you would for Qi Gong. You can do it outside. It's pretty accessible to anyone. You don't have to have a lot of weight. It's not like a kettlebell or a barbell or something, or even like a martial art that is going to intimidate people. It's super simple. I mean, anywhere from 0.3 to 0.5 pounds of weight and you're good to go. What questions you guys got? Anything?
What are they called?
Indian clubs. They originate in India, and particularly in Indian wrestling and Indian martial arts. And then the British discovered them when they were occupying India, and they brought them back. And I don't know how. I'm sorry, my tripod is a little bit broke right now. But when the British took them, they came up with all these like very proud militant postures, right? Not that these weren't used in the military before, but it became very like rank and file. So you'll see, like, if you look at any of the old European textbooks about these, and if you just Google Indian clubs, you'll find all kinds of cool stuff, historically speaking. But it's like feet together, heels together, toes kicked out, and they're very proud. The kind of more original Indian stance would have been a little bit wider and a little more relaxed. And their swinging styles a little bit. There's a lot of different swinging styles. There's a little more relaxed. But even the British styles, coming from like, I don't know, the 1800s, when you look at them, you're like, that looks like Qi Gong, or you're like, it's very, I don't know, it's very graceful. You can go back and find those in Turner schools and even in schools in the US where kids are doing these kind of like, it's just part of their curriculum. And it's kind of like marching or dance. They've got music and everybody's in step, in beat, the legs and the hands and everything. It's like, choreographed. That's what I'm looking for. And it's really kind of cool to see. Like there's a lot of different layers to this. They, believe it or not, they played a role in women's suffrage in Europe, because women would train with these, and then when they were getting bullied by men or often law enforcement, they would be carrying around a pair of Indian clubs. It was 3 pounds of wood, or not 3 pounds, but like 3 to 0.3 to 0.5 pounds of wood, in their purse or whatever, and it was legal because they'd just be like, oh, I was coming from the gymnasium, So there's kind of a cool history there. But it's nice because like, it definitely translates well to like weapons work in martial arts, but it's not in and of itself particularly martial. So you don't have to worry about, your patients who maybe aren't interested into that. It's kind of a cool thing. Any other questions?
Any questions? Okay, so I have another one. So this one also we call 双节棍 in the martial arts, right? So this one also can move the shoulder. So this one we can practice like this. So if you see my side, this is a very easy one to practice and also more complicated. So a lot of the martial arts is good for the shoulder movement. So you know the Bruce Lee, right? Bruce Lee practiced this 双节棍. So we can go outside. So we need to elevate the shoulder, and then we can go this way, and then to the other side, and then. So this is the both shoulder movement. So when I saw people practice the 双节棍 or any martial arts, I always had a concern if this one dropped and bumped on the head. So what will happen? So it looks a little bit the risk and dangerous. But if people practice this every day, so it's always good for the joint, for the shoulder. So yes, Ben, I saw a lot of the weapons in your
yeah. So I agree with you about the risk of of head injury. That's something that I definitely personally am concerned about. So that's one of the reasons that I really like if you're going to use something like the Indian clubs, I really like the ones with the water bottles, because it's at least soft. It has some, it has some give. It's still going to hurt. And I guess if you got it going fast enough, you could still hurt yourself. But it's not near as hard as like the traditional wood or the plastic. So that's nice. The other option that I've seen some people use to practice this is they take a sock and they put a tennis ball in it. But the problem with that is it almost goes too fast and makes it almost too challenging. But it is a cheap alternative if you have patients that you need to give something to do.
Yes, I agree that some people practice too much fast. So the speed. So always may have some risk to do that. But if we just use it as exercises, we enjoying these exercises. Also, we can benefit from the exercises. So it's good to know you're a martial arts fan. So you practice a lot of different style, I think so. So you practice different the martial arts, the devices, we call it the innovation, that is the weapons. So the knife, the sword, and also the some sticks. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you so much. So we have the body exercises. Okay, so next one, who will go the next?
I can go next.
Okay, thank you, Mesna.
Okay, so my thing is auricular acupuncture. So auricular acupuncture is where needles are used to stimulate points in the ear that correspond to different regions of the body, like both externally and internally. It's useful for treating all types of diseases in the body by using the ear. So over here, like certain points are chosen according to the disease location or Zangfu theory, such as like heart point for insomnia or dream disturbed sleep or night sweats, or like based on channel theory, such as using the Sangjiao or gallbladder channel to treat ear disease, since they both go to the ear. And points can also be chosen based on Western medicine, such as using like the endocrine point for irregular menses or menopause. And I do have a volunteer. Do you have the light on? Yeah, turn the light on. Okay, sit right here. So, set your ear here. So, to detect the points, palpate for tenderness with like a probe. And you like check for skin changes in a certain area of the ear. If there's like any blisters, inflammation, or broken skin, it would be best not to needle the area. And as for methods, like you can either use needles or ear seeds to stimulate those particular points. For needles, you need to sterilize the area well before inserting the needle, and then you let the patient retain it for 15 to 30 minutes or longer. And when taking out the needles, you use a cotton ball or a Q-tip. I'm gonna have to get that one later. But as for ear seeds, you wouldn't need that. They're good for long-term stimulation. Like you can clean the ear first before applying the seed to the point, and have the seed retained for 3 to 5 days. And the patient can press on the ear seed throughout the day. And because there's so many points in the ear, we'll be focusing on the NADA protocol in particular. And as for what that is, I marked it down on like these, like each areas. So the NADA protocol is where 5 needles are placed into specific areas in each ear. And the patient would sit for 30 to 45 minutes retaining the needles. And ear seeds can be used for this too. And basically, NADA protocol is mainly used for reducing cravings for alcohol and drugs, including nicotine, as well as reducing withdrawal symptoms. It increases calmness, better sleep, and it provides relief from stress and emotional trauma. Okay, so I will go ahead and demonstrate needling these points. Sorry. Here. Okay. So these needles here, they are they're 0.20 by 13. So like they are they like have a large handle and a small needle. I'm not sure how easy that is to see, but first, take the alcohol prep pad, clean the area. You should do it thoroughly. And usually you can either use a guide tube or you can freehand it. Go ahead and demonstrate both. Okay. So the first point is the sympathetic point, which is located right under here. It's in the kind of like a hidden area, and it's for the distribution, like the disruption for the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. And it has a relaxing effect and relieves pain on the internal organs and dilates the blood vessels. It's also an important point for anesthesia. Okay, it's like right underneath there. And next point, Shen Men regulates the cerebral cortex and produces a sedative effect. And it's like right here, and it's useful for neuropsychiatric disorders. It's like right at like the bottom of this triangle right here. A little bit right here, particular. Okay. And then the long point is located right here. Sorry, it's located right here. And it's for respiratory conditions, skin diseases, rhinitis, night sweats, and it's also an analgesic point. Okay. And then the liver point is, so you follow like the direction here, and then it's a little bit like along this ridge right here. Oh, sorry. Like right here where it ends, a little bit upper. And so that one is good for acute and chronic hepatitis, eye diseases, anemia, neuralgia, headache, arthritis, and vertigo and seizures. Okay, and the last point is the kidney point. So it's a point that benefits the cerebrum, kidneys, and hematopoietic system. And it is located like right under here in like this hidden area underneath. And it's used for deafness, tinnitus, hair loss, eye disease, urogenital system disease, edema, and electrolyte imbalance. Okay. So once all the needles are in, the patient would sit for 30 to 45 minutes. And along with needles, if that would be too much, ear seeds can be used.
Do the other side? Or?
Yeah, I'll do the other side. So with ear seeds, they're very simple to apply. Like you pick a point. So for this one, I'm just gonna do Shenmen. And since that one is right here, I'll go ahead and so each of these ear seeds are, they can be like different kinds of seeds, but these ones in particular are Vaccaria seeds. And so once you put them in on a little piece of adhesive, they can stay in for 3 to 5 days. Patient can like stimulate it to get like the full benefits of that particular point without having to just do it all in one session. So yeah, that's ear acupuncture.
Thank you. May I know the model of your brother?
Huh?
Is this your brother?
Oh no, it's a friend.
Oh, friend. Okay. So very good model, very good patient. So do you feel hurt?
Did it hurt?
Do you hurt?
Oh,
No?
just the last one. Oh, okay.
Okay. So yeah, it's very good. So it's good to have the model to do the demo. It's very good video. So we can learn where the location of the point and how to put the needles. It's very detailed demo. So we call NADA. NADA is 5 points, 5 representative points for the ear. But in the ear area, so we have more than five. So usually we have 20, 30. So, but because we think the ear is look like a person upside down, so the head is at the bottom. So the feet and the buttock is on the top. So that is the upside down person. So it's a mirror. It's a mirror and imaging like the entire body. So where there's issue, we can put the needles on the point, the mirror, and the imaging like the real person sitting there, upside down sitting there. So yeah. So if you have taken the class from the Dr. Wallet, so the Claudia Wallet, so you learn the history of the NADA, and that is very effective treatment for people who has the we call the Shen issue. Shen issue, that means people have the stress, has the addiction issue, has the smoke addiction or drug addiction, or who has some insomnia issue, has some depression issue. So that point always works for people, and people can calm down, can make people calm down. It is very good techniques. So when we are treating people in the clinic, so usually if people have a real anxiety, so people feel a lot of the spirit issue, I always combine the nada, the ear needling, with the body needling. So that is the very important component of the needling technique. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so any question on the nada? Yes, you must be very familiar. You must be very familiar with this technique. So let's go to the next one. What is the next one? Is there any more techniques we want to demo? So let me see. We have the moxibustion, bone broth, Qi Gong. Okay. Okay, so it seems we're done. We're done with all the demonstration. Yes, great. Very cool demonstration. So if we really in the campus and they really do in person, that would be more attractive. So when people can go to our like a vendor, so we can see a lot of the different demo and people can really experience. So hopefully the next term. So when we have the Clinic Theater 3, we can do some real demo on the person, on the real person. So yeah, so thank you all joining us today. So any questions for the demo techniques today? So what's the name for this one in English?
Nunchucks.
Sorry?
Nunchucks.
I don't think we have an English word for that, Dr. Fan.
Oh, my connection is not good, maybe. So I couldn't hear people. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, I found some internet connection issue, so I couldn't hear people. Maybe my voice is not very, it's cutting down. Maybe that one. Yeah. So okay, no problem. So it's already 4:30. So that's fine. So I hope everyone has fun. So you're very relaxed today. So you demo your experience, your skills, your techniques. So yes, hope you can using this techniques to serve for people, serve for our patients, and also people can benefit from all types of the techniques you demo today. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fan.
Next time.
Thank you, Dr. Fan.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everybody that's not going to be there.